Glad that you enjoyed it.
This was a good deal.
Isn't this a better way to do your show? Maybe you should do this, we should do this once a week.
Well, I think, listening to people eat can sometimes be a very distracting thing. You people were very good. I didn't hear, you know what bothers me? What are you doing, Rosemary?
She's
feeling her
manipulating
stomach.
her
She's
stomach.
lifting up her sweater and...
Higher.
Hey, this is a family show. I can't believe you said that. I hope it went over their heads.
Probably hear from my uncle.
The one thing I did not hear you people do, and I am so thankful, you know the thing I hate most about when people eat?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when people do that,
when Tony burped, I thought that's what you
Drive, no, you've been a very, very polite group
Thank you.
of diners.
Thank you.
You've
been a great host.
Very gracious host. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
All
Once
right.
again, the prime rib came from Joe Linnett, the executive director of the Kansas Beef Council.
All right.
And
Joe.
Bill Fleischner
Joe.
from the Weston
Joe.
Field Club in Weston, Connecticut, who has his own catering business, brought all this stuff in, and it's amazing. You even commented how delicious it was for having been catered.
Right.
This is normally the kind of thing that you wouldn't cater. It's certainly delicious stuff.
Very good.
And by the way, the Weston Club, we chose an equal opportunity country club. Bigots don't have to quit this club because they let all people join.
Really?
Yeah.
So I have a chance at the country club.
No. Almost all people, Tony. Almost.
All right. Philip in New Orleans, I'm glad you waited. You're next on the Rush Limbaugh program. Hello.
Hi, Rush.
Hi.
Crescent City Dittos.
Thank you.
I'm a first-time caller. I saw you in concert a week or so ago, and I love the concert and the bumper stickers.
Thanks very much.
Hope you ate some meat while you were in town.
Oh, did I ever? In fact, had on Friday night at Brennan's, had some Chateaubriand.
Oh, excellent.
Ooh.
Listen, I have a couple of points I'd like to cover. And first of all, a couple of suggestions. In honor of this day today, I think of all the monikers that you've used in the couple of years I've listened to you for the various extremists, I think certainly Nutburger would qualify today, and maybe that could be the moniker of the day today.
Nutburgers.
Also, in terms of bumper music today, Cheeseburger in Paradise might be a good selection.
Oh, by the way, Frank, we had that song yesterday, the gal from Connecticut.
Right,
you still have it,
yeah,
Andy?
Tony's got it in the control room.
You got it in there, Lo Bianco? We'll play that in the
Yeah,
next
the
hour,
heifer
because
one.
that would be the perfect anthem for today. Yeah, that's a
perfect.
great idea, Philip.
All right.
But it's not Cheeseburger in Paradise, although we will, we do have that. But no, this is, back in the days we did America's Funniest Home Audios. This gal sent us this thing about eating beef. It's just a real slap in the face to the animal rights movement. Anyway, thank you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoyed it. We'll be back with more in a moment, folks.
This is former heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson. The following program contains mature subject matter that is definitely suitable for the arts and crescent crowds, not to mention leftist pink mokamis. Even feminazis are welcome. Humnomaniacs, psycho babblers, environmentalist wackos, pencil neck geeks, and especially welcome members of the Now crowd. And now I'm here to make sure nobody kicks your butt. Here he is, Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
Thank you, it's Limbaugh. By the way, did you see Tyson the other day? One of his pre-fight interviews wearing a hat said kick butt. I wonder. Our influence update, I just wonder. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This, of course, is the hottest radio show in the country right now, and it will be for a while, the Rush Limbaugh program. We are here on 323 radio stations today. We just concluded. In fact, many in the EIB building are still dining. But here in the studio, we just concluded a half-hour experience dining on some of the finest prime rib I have ever tasted. I, of course, couldn't eat any during the program itself. I waited till the news break at the top of the hour. And it was just absolutely delicious. This, of course, the Great American Meatout, and I oppose the goals, the techniques, and the tactics of the leftist, environmentalist extremists, along with the animal rights extremists who are trying now to make the case that you're unethical and immoral if you eat beef. That if you eat beef, you're causing ecological destruction, you're causing water shortages, and all of that rot. And there's a political movement going on. The beef industry is the next target after the timber industry has been targeted, and they're only the first two. And this program, of course, likes to come to the defense of those in need, and so we have by offering 30 people here today a delicious prime rib dinner, and I guarantee you everybody ate it, enjoyed it, and nobody's died yet. Has anybody died out there since eating the prime rib? Nobody's. In fact, everybody's in a pretty good mood, right? We don't have on our staff, we don't have any Hitlers, we don't have any Charles Mansons. They're vegetarians. Vegetarians don't get enough cholesterol and fat, and on occasion, some of them, not all, they're prone to violence. It was catered by Bill Fleischner of the Weston Field Club in Weston, Connecticut. Drove down here into New York City to get this done and did a superb job. I am amazed at what caterers can do. I would think to bring in enough prime rib and plates, vegetables, the Yorkshire pudding and dessert for 30 people that you'd need, you probably need a van to get it down here, but I think you need a crew of 8 to bring it up. And I couldn't tell what he brought in here. I mean, it was so small, was out of the way, and yet this food, the vegetables, it's a mixed medley of vegetables. The Yorkshire pudding, which some of the middle-class types here thought was a popover from Sara Lee, but I quickly corrected that. And, of course, the special Fleischner potatoes, which are delicious, the chef's own creation. So, thanks to everybody involved. If you're just joining us, Kevin Nealon of Saturday Night Live accused me earlier today of simply doing this for show. And imagine that, somebody on Saturday Night Live accusing me of doing something for show. He's a big animal rights activist, an anti-beef guy, and so of course I'm just doing this for show. No, I'm just responding. I'm meeting a political movement with a political answer is what I'm doing, and I'm happy to do it. We have we got an animal rights update today. First it was the toe sucker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is the cat stomper. And I, of course, assure you once again, I do not make things up on this show. There is a man who stomps cats, and he got caught doing it and has been sentenced to 180 days in jail for stomping cats. There is also, let me find this. Here we go. In Wisconsin, don't know if you know this, Lo Bianco. In Wisconsin, they're trying to make it illegal to say bowling alley. Conjures up too negative an image, so they're going to call them bowling centers now. Well, guess what? The parental consent is in the news a lot lately. Oh, I have something from yesterday I didn't get to that I want to get about that. I hope I saved it here. In fact, I know I saved it. There it is. People laugh when Wisconsin legislator Jim Baumgart explains his proposal to require youths to get a parent's permission to have a tattoo. They want parental consent to get a tattoo in Wisconsin. And they'll probably say, yeah, that's a good idea. The reason is that a Sheboygan man and wife found that their daughter had tattooed her breast. And didn't think didn't want them, yeah, imagine that. They did that, and so they now want parental consent we'll have details on this, but here on the Great American Meatout. A quick call before the break. Cellular call. Bob, let's see. You are in Brunswick, Maine, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Not so bad. I've been trying to call you for 3 years, Rush. I lost the FM in the car one day and turned on the AM, and there was this person that I just couldn't stand to listen to named Limbaugh. Mm-hmm. And I kept turning him off, but it just turned out that the silence was better, or the silence wasn't better, so I got hooked on you. So now I'm in and out of the car all day, and I listen to you faithfully. I wanted to let you know that there's a lot of us people in the world who are gay that don't hate you and listen to you on a regular basis. We have a lot of the same issues. Most of us who are responsible adults do not believe in outing and have a real problem with that. We're really appalled at the way the Advocate and other people dealt with the Andy Rooney issue, and we're very upset about that. And the one thing that really prompted me to call you several months ago, and I just couldn't get through you, was the guy who called, and I don't remember exactly when or what it was about, but he was giving you this what you thought was a line about stoves that burn sawdust.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Remember that?
Yeah, that was. I have since been corrected on this. I didn't. I thought. Well, here's the thing. When somebody calls and tells me that there are stoves, furnaces, and all that burn sawdust, and I've never heard of it, I would rather be wrong than look like a fool.
I agree.
So I opted to think that somebody was playing a joke on me and approach it that way. And then, of course, the cat calls, hey, Rush, it's really true, it's really true. Easier to say I was wrong rather than I bought somebody's hook, line, and sinker story.
Yep. They're not very plentiful, but they do exist.
Oh, I know. I think they are, based on the reaction I got. I think they are plentiful. Well, anyway, Bob, thanks. I'm glad to hear from you, and I appreciate your call.
Hey, and like your show, Rush.
Appreciate your Dylan. You bet. Thanks very much. What's this? What is this?
Fallen chocolate souffle.
Fallen chocolate souffle. Is there any beef in this?
No, sorry to say.
No beef extract? Thank you. You're now serving dessert all over the building. Good. All right. Okay. The Great American Meatout continues with staffers in the EIB building having one of the finest meals of their lives, all based on beef. From high atop the EIB building in Midtown Manhattan, Rush Limbaugh, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. Here's the telephone number. I forgot to give it out today. And I should, because the audience is growing so rapidly. 1-800-282-2882. And keep in mind, you people, keep in mind that there are those who have tried to get through here for 2.5 years and haven't made it. There are others who get through their first time. First time. So be patient. Sometimes it's difficult to do. San Diego, Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, Rush, I'm one of those first-time people. I dialed about 10 times and got you.
Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. This is the tummy-crumbling dittos, by the way. I've been listening to you guys eat down there, and I'm going nuts.
Well, you're just going to have to go out and have some prime ribs someplace.
I guess.
It's the only way that you're going. Yeah, it's the only way you're going to satisfy your psychological craving. Then.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, the militant environmentalist vegetarians are going to have to go over to China and do something about that sheep-eating panda they have over there. It's in yesterday's newspaper. The panda, which is normally herbivorous, there's one particular...
Hold it just a second. When you start throwing words like that around, we have to let those in the audience who don't understand them understand. For those of you in Rio Linda, California, when the caller says that the panda is herbivorous, it means it eats herbs. It goes to the grocery store, to the spices counter, and gets herbs. Okay, Chris, continue.
Right. Chinese zoologists are studying this panda. Apparently, in the past couple of years, it's killed over 30 sheep.
No kidding.
And eaten them.
Oh, no!
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if the world can handle this. This is a scandal made especially in a communist country, no less. See, that's the kind of stuff that happens over there, folks. If we had a free market over there, and we could go out and shoot the panda and stop that from happening. Save the sheep.
Right.
Okay, Chris. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
I'm glad you got through. It's a good thing he wasn't trying for 2.5 years for that story. Would have severely questioned his judgment. Have you heard about this? This panda eating sheep in China? Where do people hear this stuff? Tom, Portsmouth, Virginia. Hi, welcome to the Rush Limbaugh program.
Rush, it's a pleasure to talk to a zeitgeist. How you doing?
Thank you. Here we go again. Here we go. You people, you're just challenging it. It must be Challenge Rio Linda today. You know, this is going to be a great thing because we're actually going to educate them. The zeitgeist, for those of you in Rio Linda, California, simply means the spirit of the times. It happens in pop culture, whatever is current, whatever is hot, whatever is hip. Me, zeitgeist.
Close. I went to a National Review anniversary down in Washington about 10 years ago, and William F. Buckley introduced James Kilpatrick, and he introduced him as a zeitgeist. And I asked about 12 people, what was it? Nobody knew, so I wrote Buckley, and about 2 months later he wrote back and said that a zeitgeist was a strong and prevailing wind.
It's the spirit of the times.
Okay.
And you'd say that I would not fit under that definition?
Absolutely.
Strong and... Well, you said close. And I would figure that's dead on, but you got a cough out there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing...
Better stop eating beef.
No question. I enjoy it. We have in our Virginian Pilot paper down here today, we had a female reporter write an article stating the imbalance in the military amongst blacks as compared to the population, etc. I felt like I've given this a lot of thought because I've read so many of these liberal articles on this, and her figures indicated that she said that 30% of the military were black and approximately 12% of the population was black. I think we can nip this now if we could find a possibly Republican congressman who could introduce a bill into Congress stating that effective immediately, we're putting a freeze in the military. And until we get the black population down equal to the national population, and once we get it there, it will remain there. We'll have to establish a waiting list and so forth.
I would love to see that
I think there'd be some screaming.
I think that'd be fun just to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right. No, not meaning to echo you there, but... Well, here's the thing. I can't believe they're still writing that piece. That piece began last November. That's when that criticism was first leveled.
Well, it's down to a local level now. They're trying to fill space, I think.
Well, that's a shame, because did anybody point out to this young reporterette that the 30% black population of the military joined of their own volition?
Well, it was a lengthy article, and she went in there and pointed out all the things that are wrong, but she finished it up stating that most blacks enter because of a job, a salary, further education, chance for advancement, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, those are horrible reasons to join.
Absolutely. Great show.
Why would you want to? Well, that'd be a great idea. In fact, I would go further. I would say this, and I mean this. If these people are going to continue to nitpick and try to define fairness with percentages, if the black population of this country is 12%, and how many of that 12% would be adults capable of working? Let's say that of the 12% of the people in this country that are black, I'm going to guess because I don't know. Let's say that, how many would you say are kids under 18? What would be a fair percentage? Well, let's say that, let's take 3 percentage points off. Let's say 9% of the black population is, say, old enough to have a job. All right? So we're down to 9%. Let's pass a law that says no company must have more than 9% of its workforce be black. Anywhere. Even if the population of a community happens to be 40% black. See, that's how they've done it. And the Civil Rights Act of 1990, which Bush vetoed, and now they're rewriting it and trying to get it back. This is going to require more time than I have here, because this is crucial, because this bill is going to be back before Congress for debate real soon, and it is a quota bill when they say it's not. The bottom line is that we've affirmative action and quotas have always been determined, the percentages, by the percentage of the population of a community where the particular factory or business happens to be located. But now with the military, they're comparing it to the black population of the country. So let's do that. Let's apply that same standard to every business. Say, Mr. Employer, Mr. Business Owner, you don't have to have any more than 9% of your workforce be black, because that's the percentage of blacks in the country. Let's see what happened if that kind of proposal made its way to Congress. Say that one more time. Yes, I'm back. 323 radio stations on the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. 1-800-282-2882 is the number to call. Guess what? The broadcast engineer normally here, who's off to for what reason, I don't know. I'll ask her. Kiki de la Garza on the phone from a phone booth. What are you doing out there, Kiki?
Oh, Rush, we're just out having our McDonald's for lunch.
Oh, I say, good for you.
Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to join in your festivities. You guys sound like you're having a great time.
Oh, I'll tell you, this was one of the most delicious prime rib meals I have had in a long time.
It sounds like it. You sound like you're having fun, but... You know, we have kindergarten orientation, so instead we went to McDonald's and got cheeseburgers.
Oh, that's right, kindergarten orientation day. So her little crumb crunchers head off to school where the young skulls full of mush start being molded by... Have you checked out the staff at this kindergarten?
Well, we're gonna go check them out now.
Good. Well, best of luck to you. Thanks for calling. Nice to hear from you.
Well, thank you. Take care, Rush.
Okay,
Bye.
that's Kiki de la Garza, broadcast engineer here. Wait. This person's been on the phone for quite a while. Let's take one more call, and then we'll do our animal rights update. Deana from Baton Rouge. Hello.
Hi, Rush.
Hi, Deana.
I'm a first-grade teacher in Baton Rouge,
Ooh.
and I have two things to tell you.
All right.
First of all, on this Meatout deal, I was reading the story of Noah's Ark to my students, and at the end it mentions that God puts the animals under the domain of people as the plants to do what they will with them.
That is in Genesis, but there are some people who choose, and of course that's a biblical belief or a religious belief, and so I try not to use those, which I may hold, as reasons for political beliefs here, because I don't allow other people to make them.
Right. Well, I'm teaching in a Catholic school.
Way to go.
So this was appropriate.
Well, no, that's fine. I'm not criticizing you. Don't misunderstand. I mean, I am a Christian, and I have a particular denomination of it. But on this show, I don't consider this to be church. I'm not a preacher making a sermon. This isn't a pulpit, and I think religious beliefs are sacred and private, which is why I haven't enunciated that belief. Although I do agree with what you're teaching.
Okay, and I just made a point to my students that I thought that this was why it was okay for us to eat meat, because of God saying that. But the other point that I wanted to make was, have you ever seen this Lucky Charms commercial about the trees?
Lucky Charms? Wait a minute, Lucky Charms. What is a Lucky Charm? I'm having a...
It's a cereal with little marshmallows in it and a little leprechaun. They have a logo of a leprechaun on the bottom.
Yeah, all right, I remember now. I haven't seen any commercial for Lucky Charms in a long... I don't watch TV during the periods of time they advertise cereal.
Okay, well, they're getting into the Environmental Act by showing this commercial that has the leprechaun and two little kids skipping through the forest, and then the forest just ends, and it's nothing but tree stumps. And they all say, "Oh, what happened?" And the leprechaun says, "Well, all the adults forgot to plant trees."
Oh, all the adults forgot to plant trees, so therefore it's people's fault. Well,
exactly, and you know that's going to happen because we all will forget to plant trees. And so he says that it's up to the kids to plant trees, and he put tree marshmallows in his cereal, and the kids can send off box tops or something like that to get free trees to plant.
Thanks for the call.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and best of luck with your first graders.
Thanks.
Well, we were going to do our animal rights update now, but we're going to delay the animal rights update, move it back one more call. Ted Nugent is on the phone. Ted.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Yourself?
I could not be better. How do you feel about the Great American Meatout, Ted?
Well, I get a kick out of these people. We've been on the road nonstop with the damn Yankees all year, Rush.
Right.
We're selling places out. Let me just give you a perspective, and I think this is reflective of our wonderful society out there. We get anywhere between 15 and 20,000 people at our concerts every night, and there's usually anywhere from 1 to 5 protesters protesting that Ted Nugent is playing rock and roll because I eat meat. These people are so wounded that it's laughable, except that somehow they actually get the time of day from some people.
Hey, Ted, I got to ask you a question. Something I read about your act
that
the animal rights crowd is angry at. Apparently what you have a foam model replica doll of Saddam Hussein.
Oh, and it's a beauty, Rush.
All right.
It's 10 feet tall and looks just like the nerd.
Right, all right. So, and you actually aim from 50 feet, is that right?
Anywhere from 20 to 35 yards every night.
Okay, with a bow and arrow right in the crotch of this doll, right?
Well, every night we kind of draw straws, and I let the guys in the band decide where they want me to whack them, but I put an arrow right wherever they want it every night, Rush.
What's the reaction? I mean, it's a rock concert, and here you are nailing Saddam Hussein dolls with a bow and arrow. What's the reaction to the crowd?
The reaction is every artist's dream. It's every performer's dream. The crowd goes banzai. They absolutely love it. The attitude around this great country of ours is that somebody, somewhere, has got to whack the Saddam character. So why not Ted?
Well, question for you. Seriously now about the Meatout and the animal rights and the environmentalists.
It is serious.
It is, because I haven't talked to you at great length in a philosophical sense about this. The last time you called, you were so funny. Greatest line you had, "Hey, if you're not making waves, you're not paddling," which I've never forgotten. But so I think that this This whole movement, Casey Kasem saying that if we stopped eating beef, we would have to import less oil and
Unbelievable.
Ozone wouldn't be depleted and we could disarm and so forth. I mean, they've already harmed greatly the timber industry, and now this crowd set out after the beef industry. And there's more to it here than just health concerns on the part of these people. We actually have, I think, an anti-capitalist movement.
There's no question that the typical profile of the animal rights people and the more overt vegetarian people is really basically un-American, Rush. They're really against what has made this country and what this country was founded on.
Absolutely
the independent,
right.
The pioneer attitude.
Absolutely right. You and I are in total agreement about this.
Well, you know, to think that these animal rights pro-vegetarian people, you got to realize too, Rush, that I'm not against vegetarianism. I'm not against any of these people's inclinations. I happen to have an incredibly gifted, talented, warm-hearted family man in my band, the Damn Yankees, named Tommy Shaw, who is a vegetarian. And Tommy and I share our meals every night. He eats his vegetables and I eat my venison. And we get along fine because we both respect each other's desire for the diet that we prefer, knowing that that is only a personal choice and that I would never think that Tommy Shaw choosing to be a vegetarian must reflect other vegetarians in history. For example, some of the more famous vegetarians, Rush, was a gentleman by the name of Charles Manson. Another vegetarian that we all know and love was a man named Hitler. And just because these people chose vegetarian diets does not have anything to do with the degree of their psyche or their integrity.
Not at all.
And that is what these people are missing.
You know what's happening? It's just exactly what you said. I don't care if they're vegetarians, but the fact they care that I eat beef, if they're worried about their own health, then fine. But if they're trying now to define my ethics and my morality by virtue of what I eat, then I would say we have food fascism going on here. These people trying to tell others what, not only now can you not say certain things, you got to be politically correct with your speech, now you got to be politically correct with your diet. And I'll tell you, it's to me, it makes me mad and it's hideous.
I'm offended by it. I think the basic, hard-working American out there is typically laughed at these people, but now they see that it really is an ethic claim. It really is a sentiment that these people want to take beyond personal choice, and they're really trying to ram it down our throats. And I think now the mainstream American public, whether they have thought in their heart why they eat meat or how much meat they eat, are now joining people like yourself and myself who are offended by these pushy people. And I have had disdain for that mentality for years, but now that they're actually getting forceful about it, I believe that it's going to take those of us that think clearly on the issue of how we want to sustain our bodies and minds.
You know Chrissy Hind?
Yeah, I know of the goofy. Yeah, she's a goofy woman.
But you have not met her?
I have not met